Hello, I'm Scott Stevens, Goldsboro City Manager, here for our February monthly update. I think the sunshine has tricked us into coming outside. We always like to be outside, or at least I do. It's still February and it's still cool, but the sunshine is nice to be out here and enjoying. So I would encourage you to find a nice time and move around some. I do want to mention February is Black History Month. I hope you're all aware of that. We're putting information on the city's website on a recurring basis or monthly or daily basis during February. Our Arts Council has a lot of events scheduled for the week of February 19th, and many other organizations are recognizing February and promoting it as Black History Month. And so I would just encourage you to take some time to learn a little bit of history and some things that have occurred, and we're all better for that. So again, a lot going on in February, and we just encourage you to be part of learning about that. Community appearance, always an issue for us on the city staff, and the mayor and council continue to be concerned with that. We're doing daily litter pickup. We would encourage each of you to do that around your homes or businesses, or call the city if there are areas where we can help. But we definitely want to put Goldsboro's best foot forward, and it takes all of us doing that, as well as raising awareness about litter and the negative impacts it can have on people that visit. So I guess those that live here as well. But we need to encourage our friends and neighbors not to litter, and then to encourage all of us to do our part in cleaning it up. I do think you'll have a litter campaign coming from the city in a few months. We have talked about that a lot, of how do we raise awareness. We've got community members interested and involved, and so more to come on that. But continue to do your part in trying to clean up Goldsboro and make it the best it can be. Our Wings Over Wayne event that occurred here with the air show last year was submitted to the North Carolina Association of Festivals and Events, and won the award, a statewide award, recognizes the event of the year by, again, this NC Association of Festivals and Events. Really good recognition for Goldsboro and Wayne County. A lot of people involved, and kudos to Seymour Johnson, really, who takes the lead on that for their win of that statewide award. But a big event for our community, and it's nice to get some statewide recognition by an association whose purpose is to be involved in festivals and events. So congratulations to all involved in that. I do want to mention city employees. As city manager, I get to represent this group on a very regular basis. We have a great group of employees working to make Goldsboro a better place, all of us pulling in generally speaking, the right direction. And I just want to say I appreciate what our employees do to make Goldsboro better. Most of us don't appreciate they're out nights and weekends, they're doing their jobs during the day, they're looking out for us at 2 in the morning, they're monitoring your water and sewer, they're responding to emergency calls, they're patrolling areas, they're doing police and fire, they're mowing grass here, they're cleaning stormwater ditches here, they're fixing this issue in this building over here, they're trying to keep our parks open at times, or they're making building improvements. But we really do have a great group, and I just want to tell you and them that I am proud to represent this group of city employees, and it's a pleasure to work with them on a daily basis. We do have a very committed group to making Goldsboro better. In terms of employees that I do direct hiring for, I do have 3 positions out there. One is our fire chief, Gary Whaley, retired at the end of November. I'm recruiting for that. I have about 80 plus applications from across the country. Hope to narrow that list down to about 6 or 8 to interview, and hope to conduct those interviews in the early March timeframe, with the hope of having a fire chief here in April. Development Service Director, we just started advertising for that in late December, early January. So I'll be pushing those recruitments into the April-May timeframe. And then I have a Public Information Officer that the City Council approved in December that we're recruiting for, and I hope to make a decision or have start interviews in the March timeframe for that. So more updates as we move forward, but that's at least my schedule for today, and we'll see how that works. City Council did discuss broadcasting their work sessions. We've been broadcasting their 7 o'clock meeting on Channel 10 and Facebook Live for the past year on Facebook Live, and for much longer on Channel 10. City Council wanted to extend that to their work sessions that begin at 5 o'clock, so we've done that as well, and I want to thank our staff involved, and that became a bigger task to make that happen, but I think that broadcast is worthwhile. I hope you're tuning in. We are broadcasting that on Channel 10 at the 5 o'clock meeting, the work session, and Facebook Live, and certainly encourage you, if you're not able to attend the meetings, to at least tune back in over the month and pay attention to what your mayor and city council are discussing on a regular basis, because it does affect you in some form or fashion. So if you have questions or comments on anything you hear or see, please don't hesitate to call the manager's office, 580-4330, again, 580-4330, or you can always email me. I'd be happy to respond to any questions or your concern on our Goldsboro website. There's a citizen request tab that does come into the manager's office, and we route those emails accordingly to who needs to respond to that. But we want to make sure we answer your questions, and we certainly appreciate your viewpoints and comments on any issue that's coming before the mayor or city council. We had a poverty study that was released here for Goldsboro in mid-January. It was done by Professor Gene Nichols out of UNC Chapel Hill. He has been in poverty research for many years and really done studies of communities maybe the past several years. He's done, I believe, Charlotte and Greensboro and Winston-Salem and now Goldsboro. And Professor Nichols really shared that his goal was to describe poverty, and I think he did a good job. You know, it's very sobering to listen to the stories and things that are occurring in Goldsboro and Wayne County. He did share that some of the deepest poverty was in the metro areas such as Charlotte and Greensboro and Winston-Salem, which was really surprising to me. I certainly knew they had poverty. I don't know that they would have had the deepest, in my opinion, but that's what he said the research had shown. And unfortunately for Goldsboro, poverty is not a new problem in Goldsboro and Wayne County. In 1970, almost 30% of Goldsboro residents lived in poverty in 1970. Today, almost 50 years later, that number is still 25%. So it's still 1 in 4 of our residents live in poverty. That is extremely high. Again, it was 1 in 3 almost 50 years ago. So we've improved some, but we still have a long way to go. And then when you talk about children in poverty, it's hard to believe in North Carolina, one of the most prosperous states in the nation, that 40% of Black and Hispanic children live in poverty. And here in Goldsboro and Wayne County, that number is closer to 50%. So again, we have a lot of work to do in our state and work to do in our community. And I don't believe it's a city or county government problem. It is a problem for our community. The city and the county have a role in helping to make that better, but it will take a community effort. It will take neighbors looking after one another and all of us pulling together to make it better. And there is a group working to do that in terms of talking about poverty and how do we make it better for our community. And I would encourage you to get involved. You know, again, call the manager's office. We will get you tied into the right place if you want to be part of this effort to make it better. But it's a long process. Some things we can do that probably will make a difference for some very quickly, but for most it is going to take years and years and decades to make it better. But we've got to start today to make it better for tomorrow. So I would encourage you to get involved. Our summer youth program that was very successful, or at least I believe it was, in the summer of 2017. We are rolling out again for 2018. We've started the process a little earlier and that we've held orientation sessions most of January and early February. We had 130 students attend, which is a lot, this orientation meeting, which is significantly less than last year. Our orientation session last year had close to 400. And so 130 this year is a significant reduction of that. But I believe, based on comments from parents and youth, that our restricting the opportunity to low-income families has really impacted the number of students that are able to come to the orientation meeting or able to participate in the program. We've heard from parents that they wish we would release that. I think at this point we're not doing that yet. And to give you an idea of income, for a family of a household of 2, that household income has to be $32,000 or less. For a household of 4, that income has to be $40,500 or less. And so we have limited it to a specific part of our community, really on purpose. And I think the council's intent is to try to help the kids that have the least chance of having some opportunity and provide those kids with a priority application in terms of having this access to the summer youth program, which is not just about a job, but about teaching kids some financial responsibility, exposing them to some things outside of Goldsboro and Wayne County, such as the museums in Raleigh and our state legislature, or the aquarium and a Beaufort waterfront down at the coast, so that they can see more than just Goldsboro, which many of our youth aren't able to get outside of Wayne County on a regular basis. So trying to give them a broader sense of what the state and the world has to offer. So again, I think a really good program. I expect it to be again this year, and more to come on terms of the requirements and students and the numbers. But we will update you as that goes forward in time. And would encourage all kids that meet the criteria to please reach out to us and talk with us about your interest in the program. A couple things opening in the coming months that will be big events for the community. The Maxwell Center, which is a county facility in which the city is a partner, is opening in early March. I know the director, James Wade, has a lot of events scheduled for that weekend. He wants the community to come out and take a look. His hope is you'll come out and be impressed with the facility, but also that we'll generate some groups that would say, hey, we could bring this group here, or we could do that there, and let you see the facility firsthand. I think you'll be very pleased with the end result and what the county has built and what will be offered or available here in Goldsboro and Wayne County. The city still continues to search for a hotel. We are meeting with county commissioners and talking through that. Again, there's interest, but we haven't got a hotel yet ready to build. And in terms of recruiting conventions, at least out-of-town folks to here, the hotel on site is a pretty big deal in terms of making the checklist for some of these larger conventions. And so I think in time we will have it. We just like it sooner than later, and so we are increasing our efforts there in terms of marketing and recruiting a hotel to the site. The Paramount Theater will be celebrating on February 16th its 10th year reopening, and so again I hope you'll plan to attend that. Will be a limited number of tickets as the facility holds just over 500, but it's hard to believe it's been back in operation 10 years and really a community win, and brings a lot of good entertainment and a lot of activity into our downtown and into Goldsboro, and so I hope you'll be part of that gala on February 16th. Our multi-sports complex that's being built behind Meadow Lane School on Oak Forest Road. We've talked about it for a couple of years. It will be opening in April. We'll have our first tournament there. The artificial turf fields are complete. The parking lot lighting is in. The sports field lighting for 3 of the fields was delivered this week and will be installed in the coming month. Our concession and bathroom is under construction, and a lot of other finishing details to get it ready for that April tournament. We have an F4 aircraft that we can put on a static display there. We hope to have up in April, but certainly we'll have it up in the coming months. And a splash pad to be installed and some other amenities to be installed as we go forward in time. But really a nice facility. We're having outside groups look at it. They're very impressed with the layout, very impressed with the ability of the facility to, I guess, withstand heavy rainfall in terms of the fields are designed to drain well, the soils in the area are good, and I think we'll see a real value to our community in the years to come with bookings. And again, soccer certainly is primary, but it's open to any field sport, that is youth football, that is lacrosse, that is ultimate frisbee, or whatever else you can envision playing on field sports. But the idea was to have a high-class facility here for our kids to use during the week, and then they can participate in the tournaments and other things to help support it during the weekend. So again, and that's tourism on the weekend, sports tourism, to again support not only the fields, but support community businesses and hotels and other things within Goldsboro and Wayne County. So I think a lot to come with that. We also have a stormwater fee. I hope most of you are aware we implemented July 1st. So again, all developed properties should be paying $450 a month up to this point. Beginning in March 1st, all non-residential or multifamily residential will begin paying on impervious area, meaning if you have twice the average residential impervious area, instead of $450 a month, you would pay $9 a month. That will apply to all beginning March 1st, non-residential or multifamily residential. So encourage you to understand what that means for your site. Our Public Works Department has held a number of community outreach meetings. There is another one scheduled for mid-February. I would encourage you to find that date and participate in that event so you understand what it means to you. But churches, nonprofits, areas with large impervious area, industry or business, I'd certainly encourage you to attend. Government entities will pay the fee. Again, it is for the service of transporting and improving the stormwater drainage in our community, and we really have a lot of work to do. So the money that is generated from this fee will go directly to improving maintenance, drainage, and other things within our drainage related within Goldsboro and Wayne County. Boards and commissions. City Council's had a lot of discussions about boards and commissions, and I just want to say thank you to all the volunteers that do serve on our boards and commissions. And again, we've been debating this with City Council for almost 6 months. We have proposed a revised ordinance that puts them all in one place so that as a citizen or even as future elected or staff, you have all the ordinances in one place that would reflect the boards and commissions of the city, what their purpose is, what their membership's comprised of, and again, who supports them from a staff side, as well as a general policy that would govern how they operate. And again, we've had a lot of discussion on that. I expect the council will adopt this ordinance in the coming month, and then we'll be to how do we appoint everybody. We have some boards that have currently 2-year terms or 3-year terms or 4-year terms or 5-year terms. The council made the decision that like all boards and commissions have 3-year terms, so those that are our boards and commissions, that's where we will be. And it's trying to revamp how we do all of our volunteers that currently serve from the term they're in to the proposed term that'll be coming as we move forward. So more to come on that. I think that will be a retreat topic for the council in terms of finalizing who's appointed where. The council retreat, we talked about it being in February. I've asked the council would they move it to March, so we're finalizing a date and topics. But beyond boards and commissions, I think you'll hear from department heads and new positions they feel the city needs in terms of the budgeting process. I think they'll hear about street resurfacing, our proposed next phase of the bond money, about $2.5 million towards street resurfacing to do in the summer of 2018. A financial forecast of where the city is and what our consultants believe the city could afford going forward. I think you'll hear more discussion on the Herman Park Center and how we move that forward if the council's desire is to still do that. The Paramount Theater operations was a request by a council member to help understand where it is financially in terms of covering its operating costs, and it doesn't cover its operating costs, but I do believe there's community value and benefit in terms of having that facility. We'll talk more about the strategic plan that the council adopted, the mission and vision last year, and sort of an update on where staff is and moving that forward through the year. Requested look at environmental service salaries, as well as what are we paying, is our pay fair, discussion of a gym in District 1, internships, and then a summer and a zone event. And I'm sure the list will grow from that, but those are at least topics that we're considering for the council retreat now at this point to be in the March timeframe, and we're finalizing those dates. As always, there seems to be a lot of activity in the community. You sometimes have to look for that. But I would encourage you to come to the city's Facebook pages, give us a call, visit the DGDC or the Paramount Theater or Parks and Rec websites. Again, there's a lot to do. You've got to look for it. If you need help finding it, again, don't hesitate to find us. We're here to serve. If there are things that we can help you with, please give us a call. And again, we're signing off for this month. Would say, hope you enjoy the winter. The spring is coming, March and April, but enjoy February while it's here. And when you can be outside, I would encourage you to get outside. Thank you. If you need us, give us a call.